Yukina Saeki is a name that slowly but steadily carved its own place in the Japanese adult entertainment industry, not through loud controversies or shocking statements, but through consistency, emotional screen presence, and a natural charm that connected deeply with viewers. Born and raised in Japan, Yukina Saeki grew up like any other ordinary girl, far away from the spotlight, in a life where entertainment was just a distant dream. From an early age, she was known among friends as quiet, observant, and emotionally expressive, someone who felt things deeply but rarely spoke about them openly. Unlike many who chased fame from childhood, Yukina's journey was shaped more by circumstances and personal choices than by ambition alone. Before entering the industry, Yukina Saeki lived a relatively normal life, working part-time jobs and experiencing the everyday struggles of independence in modern Japan. Financial pressure, emotional curiosity, and the desire to explore her own identity slowly pushed her toward modeling and eventually adult entertainment. When she finally made her debut, it was not with explosive popularity, but with a subtle introduction that focused more on realism than fantasy. Her early appearances showed a performer who was still discovering herself, sometimes nervous, sometimes hesitant, but undeniably real. That honesty became her biggest strength. As time passed, Yukina Saeki began to develop a unique on-screen personality. She wasn't trying to copy existing stars or force herself into a specific image. Instead, she leaned into softness, emotional depth, and natural expressions that felt relatable. Viewers started noticing that her performances felt less scripted and more human, which made her stand out in an industry often dominated by exaggerated roles. Her eyes, expressions, and body language carried emotions that went beyond surface-level acting, creating a sense of connection that many fans appreciated deeply. With each new project, Yukina gained more confidence. Her movements became more assured, her presence stronger, and her understanding of the camera sharper. She learned how to balance vulnerability with control, softness with confidence. This evolution was not sudden but gradual, making her journey feel authentic rather than manufactured. Fans who followed her from the beginning felt like they were growing alongside her, witnessing her transformation step by step. Yukina Saeki's popularity grew not just because of her looks, but because of the atmosphere she created on screen. She had the ability to make scenes feel intimate rather than performative. That quality helped her build a loyal fan base that valued emotional realism over flashy presentation. Directors also began to recognize her strengths, often casting her in roles that required subtle expressions and emotional storytelling rather than aggressive performances. As her career progressed, Yukina worked with multiple studios and explored a variety of roles. Each project added a new layer to her professional identity. Sometimes she appeared gentle and innocent, other times mature and emotionally complex. This versatility allowed her to avoid being typecast, which is a common challenge in the industry. Her adaptability showed that she was not just a performer, but someone who understood storytelling, mood, and emotional pacing. Despite growing recognition, Yukina Saeki maintained a relatively low public profile. She did not chase excessive media attention or personal publicity. This distance added to her mystery, making fans even more curious about the real person behind the screen. Instead of speaking loudly, she let her work speak for itself. That quiet professionalism earned her respect from both fans and industry insiders. Over time, however, like many in the adult industry, Yukina began to face the emotional and physical demands of the profession. Long shooting hours, repetitive expectations, and the pressure to constantly maintain relevance can take a toll on any performer. While she never openly dramatized these struggles, subtle changes in her appearances and activity suggested that she was becoming more selective with her work. This phase reflected maturity, where experience teaches you the value of balance over constant output. Eventually, Yukina Saeki started reducing her appearances, focusing on fewer projects and prioritizing personal well-being. For fans, this period felt bittersweet. On one hand, they respected her choices, and on the other, they missed her presence. Yet this gradual slowdown felt natural rather than abrupt, as if she was gently closing one chapter of her life instead of forcefully ending it. Yukina Saeki's journey is not defined by numbers, rankings, or viral moments. It is defined by emotional connection, steady growth, and quiet strength. She represents a side of the industry where authenticity matters more than spectacle. Her career reminds viewers that not every journey needs to be loud to be meaningful. Sometimes, the most lasting impressions are created through sincerity, patience, and staying true to oneself. Even today, Yukina Saeki remains remembered not just as a performer, but as an experience. Her work continues to be revisited by fans who appreciate depth over drama and realism over exaggeration. Her journey stands as an example of how individuality can shine even in the most competitive environments, and how success does not always mean being everywhere, but being remembered where it truly matters.